Hello everyone, this is Brad with Wright County Parks and Recreation. I wanted to take a minute to walk you through our new reservation system. So in January of this year, we launched a new site, went away from our old one. So I want to just give you a few tips, tricks, and let you see this as we get ready to prepare for campground reservations opening up on March 4th. So with that, again, March 4th, 8 a.m., we'll open up our campground reservations. So we'll have 22 sites at Schroeder that will be available that day for reservation for the season, and then all of Bertram and Collinwood. Schroeder, half the campground, reason being is for the construction project that we have going on out there. So the other half of the campground at Schroeder, so sites 30 through 50, which are new numbers, will open up on June 3rd for reservations starting July 8th. So dates to know again, March 4th, 8 a.m., south end of Schroeder, 22 sites available, and then all of Bertram and Collinwood that day. And then again, June 3rd at 8 a.m. for reservations starting July 8th at Schroeder Park and the north end for sites 30 through 50. Be sure you're checking Schroeder for the new numbers and the new sites, and you'll see that as we go through this. So we'll move into the reservation site itself. So as you can see here on my screen, our site looks very different. We're very excited about this. It should provide a better user experience for you, and we hope that you like it as well. So if you are not seeing this page when you get to go reserve a campground or a campsite, or if you're looking for a program registration or shelter facility, anything like that, then you are not in the right place. The old site reads Perfect Mind up here in the web browser. The new one, you'll see this web track. So a couple things to note, I am working in a demo site, so some things might look a little different when you get into the live site just because we are in a demo version. So maps might be a little different as far as just updates on numbers and sites available, things like that. So just want you to know that. So first things first, when you get here, if you have not created an account, you're going to need to do that. That's right here. So if you've had an account in the past with us, it's no longer valid. So unless you created it in January of this year. So anything from last season, if you reserved a site with us in 2023, that information does not work. You will need to create a new account. So you would click here on the sign in register, and it'll bring it to this page for you. So you don't have an account, sign up now. You can go through that process. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then if you do have an account, you'll type in your username and password. So this username can be your email password. There are some restrictions on that. 7 characters. In those 7 characters, you're going to want to have a capital, a number, and a special character. Special characters being a period, exclamation point, something along that lines. So you'll get all that created, and then you'll be able to log in. So with that, you can see here, this is what you would see when it's logged in. You'll see your name here. So, and your account number, you can see your cart, all this other stuff. So you're looking here, you've got all 3 of the campgrounds. You can select your campground that you want. I'm going to use Schroeder for this purpose, just so I can show you some of the things we're dealing with out there. So you'll click on Schroeder, and you'll see this map. We've updated the maps. And again, I talked about the numbering at Schroeder. You can tell that the numbers are very different than what they were last year. Site 1 and 2 on this map used to be site 50 and 51. So pay attention to that. You're going to want to make sure you're watching that. So, and again, for March 4th, it's this area of the campground that will open for reservation, minus the 4 in the corner that you don't see. And then there's 3 same-day sites. So again, 22 sites. So anything that's gray is unavailable. So when you get to here, so you can see here, there's a begin date, which is your arrival date when you want to come in, how many nights, and you can select up to 14 nights. That is still our policy. These are some other filters that you can run. My suggestion is not to mess with them on March 4th when you're trying to reserve, just because any filter you put in, it's only going to show you sites that are available that meet those criteria. So to see the whole campground, we're going to go here. I'm just going to we'll just do Memorial Day weekend here. Coming in on Friday on the 24th, I'm going to do 3 nights, and then I'm going to hit search. So as it comes up, you'll now see that some of these sites change color from the gray. The white sites and these blue sites are available. Again, gray is unavailable. So you can see these are all unavailable at this time. So once you're here, you can kind of hover over the sites. You'll see it gives you a few features and amenities, things like that. So 15, you can tell it says it's a same day site. Something with the same day sites, you'll be able to reserve them online this year instead of having to call us. But it's at 8 a.m. of the day that you want to come in. So if you want to come in on Friday at 8 a.m. that day, you'll be able to make that reservation for that site. You can't get on Thursday to make it for Friday. It would be 8 a.m. of the day you're coming in. Our no call, no show policy still is in place. So if you try to manipulate that, get in, say, hey, I'm coming Thursday, but then you don't show up. When you get there on Friday, you're going to come to a site that's no longer yours. So it's just something to be aware of. So, but that is new. That is a change. Blue is available as well. You can see 14 and 16. So those are our ADA sites. They are full concrete pads at Schroeder this year. That's one of our upgrades. So we really trust you guys to just kind of use your honor system on this. There's really no way we can double check and make sure that it's a ADA accessible person that's needing that or any of those filters. So our policy is that once the campground's full, they can be reserved to anybody. So we just ask that you got to be mindful of that. So once you know what you want, so let's say I want site 22, I'm going to double click on it and it's going to get going here. You'll see it loads down here. It shows my selected items. And then it's got add to cart and clear selection. And then you can also see that 22 changed colors. So that color is just saying, hey, you have selected it, kind of that orange color. So that's what you're looking at. New feature with this one is I can click up, I can add 5 sites to a receipt. So I can go 23, I can do 24, I can do 25, 26. So there's 5 sites. And I can add all those to my cart. Now, if I add more than that, so let's say I throw 27 on here. When I hit add to cart, and you have to hit add to cart, when they're sitting there, they're not in your cart yet. So even in this site, they're not in your cart yet. So notice I have all 6 sitting here. You got to hit your check boxes. And again, this is to show you the filter that's going to happen. When I hit continue, then I get to the waiver, I hit agree, and you have to do that. Hit continue. It's going to run. So I apologize for a little bit of a delay here. It's going to run on those. So you can see here now that I've got an error coming up that I haven't followed. Haven't satisfied the following allowances. It's telling me that I've done 6, but I can only do 5. So if I hit cancel. So what it did here, when you hit cancel, I'm going to show you, this brings you to the payment screen and to where you can go through and finish your payment process, but I'm going to go back to the cart. You can see here that it only took 5 sites. So what it did is it took the last item that I'd put on and removed it because it was more than 5. So if you do 8 sites, the last 3 you put on, when you hit continue, it's going to remove those 3. So at this point, like I said, if you were here, I'm just showing you this proceed to checkout. This is the screen that we were just on. Preloads a few things. You don't have to worry about coupon codes. It will always default to credit card. It'll preload some of this information for you, but it's not going to do. But at that point, you'll hit this continue button, and that'll start the whole payment process. But once you're here, once you click that waiver, I'm going to go back to cart, and I'm going to remove some of these. I'm just going to clear the whole cart, empty cart. So once you click on that waiver that you saw earlier, that's when it adds it to your cart. So once it's completed and you've done that, so I'll do this again, we'll search. And then I'm going to add site 22. I'm just going to do the one site this time, add to cart. Select that, I'm going to hit continue. I'm going to agree to the waiver, I'm going to continue. So now I'm here. So once I clicked on that checkbox and hit continue at the waiver, I now have 10 minutes to complete my transaction. So that means it's going to hold it off for you. It's going to block it out from everybody else for 10 minutes. So that way you're not rushed. One thing with the payment side of things, again, we've had some questions. This site does not store your credit card information. So you will have to input it every time. That's a safety reason on our end. So something to be aware of. So, and again, at this point, you just hit continue. It's not going to let me do it because, again, this is a demo site. This is where we have some of the restrictions. It won't let me finish this process because I am there. But for you guys, you'll hit continue. You'll put in your credit card information and go from there, and you'll be good to go. So you saw me hit this back to cart earlier. If you did that, and say you got one site in for a weekend, hey, I want to go look for another one, I can do this continue shopping. I can go look for another weekend. I can look at another campsite if I want. You can go back to the home and look for a campsite, another campground, any of those. So that all works the same. But remember, you still have 10 minutes with that transaction that's in your cart already. So if it took me another 2 minutes, let's say I'm going to go look for another date and I want to look in June. So I'll do June 14th. I'll do it for 2 nights. Search. I'm going to do the same site here. We'll just do site 22. Loaded. Add to cart. Got to click that. Hit continue. And notice it didn't make me do the waiver again because I've already signed off on it. So now at this point, both of those are in my cart. They're both held off. My 10-minute countdown is still working on this. So say it took me an extra minute. Now I have 9 minutes there, and I have 10 minutes on this one to get this done. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. So that's pretty much the nutshell on what we're doing. Wanted you to be able to see that. So again, I'm going to empty this cart real quick. And I'm going to go back to the home page so that way you guys can see it. So again, this is the site you want to look for. Some neat functionality that we have with the maps and being able to load them up quick, running through your filters. This is just, like I said, it's a lot cleaner, a lot smoother than what it used to be, than what we had in the past. So as you get here, you'll just kind of going through it again. Now, what was neat, if you hit this add to cart, let's say somebody added it to the cart before you got to this point, it will send back at you. Instead of getting the old oops, an unexpected error has occurred at your payment process, you'll get an error here and it'll tell you exactly, hey, this site's no longer available. So you're able to go back in at that time. So that's the quick rundown. Hopefully this will help you guys and hopefully you'll find it useful. So again, we're excited about it. Again, remember March 4th, 8 a.m. for Schroeder for this end here. And you can see the sites that are available. So sites 1 through 4, 7 through 14, site number 16, and then 21 through 28. So 22 sites at Schroeder will open up March 4th for the season. That starts on May 3rd. And then this north end will open up on June 3rd for reservation starting July 8th. And then again, March 4th at 8 a.m., all of Bertram and all of Collinwood. Bertram, obviously, camper cabins are 120 days in advance, so you can already start booking some of those into the summer. If you have any questions or you have concerns, reach out to us. Shoot us an email at parksandrecreation@co.wright.mn.us. Again, parksandrecreation@co.wright.mn.us. We'll also have a PDF document out on the website for you to look at that will highlight some of these things, but this at least shows you how it looks. So thank you guys and good luck on getting your campsites, and we're looking forward to seeing you guys this season.